Do women enjoy being pursued? That a woman who says no is actually saying try harder seems to be a persistent myth about the dating scene that refuses to fade. Is this statement accurate? It's difficult to say whether or not ladies enjoy being chased. Perhaps the following query would be more appropriate. Do women enjoy being pursued by you? To find out, keep watching and subscribe to our channel. Why girls don't want to be chased? It solely depends on the type of person who is chasing, the situation, interest of the female towards that person, his personality, attraction, efforts, and many other factors that lead to the outcome of women not wanting to be chased. There are a few assumptions on why girls don't want to be chased. A secret agenda which is believed by most men is even after doing everything which is shown in pop culture like movies, traveling to another country to chase her or slay demons for her will get you nowhere. Instead, by doing this, the girl will only friendzone you because you are valuable enough for her to keep around, but you also don't excite her, which leads to her becoming interested in a guy who doesn't do big gestures and shows little interest. These statements and beliefs are untrue. There are reasons that are overlooked by guys. When they fail at chasing a girl, they start blaming her, and to boost their self-ego after rejection, they develop their own conclusion that even after doing everything for girls, they will not choose you and pick a less interested person. But the question is, why exactly would girls do something like that? Therefore, there are valid reasons behind it. The most frequent and apparent explanation is that a woman wouldn't want to be chased by a man she thinks unattractive. Naturally, she will feel out of her league if he is physically unappealing in comparison to her. Unattractive men can still succeed if they can win her over with their personalities and wit. Sadly, if he has an unpleasant personality as well, e.g., he's a simp, a lovely guy, or just incredibly needy, etc., he dispels any uncertainty in her mind. So if you think being needy towards women is desirable or attractive, then dude, you are mistaken. Because if asked, among women, the neediness quality in guys is the least desirable quality of all. Not only does it display low emotional intelligence, after all, you're showing that you are incapable of balancing your emotional needs, but needy behavior is toxic to relationships. This is why most women find it undesirable and would rather consider not being in a relationship with someone who will be toxic in relationships. So hopefully guys put a pause to this quality or stop questioning and wondering why girls don't like to be chased. Females also don't like to be chased by guys when they are unavailable, such as a woman who is not looking for any relationship or is happily taken, committed to someone would at least require someone to chase them and disrupt their life and happiness. This indicates again how women don't like to be chased depending on the situation you put them in. Such as it's possible that today's women are completely devoted to their jobs, businesses, families, churches, etc. Whatever it is, it must leave them with little time for romance or relationships. Consequently, an unavailable woman wouldn't want to be chased. She'll probably say no thanks or sorry, I'm not interested in response to your advances when she's quite certain she doesn't want your attention. Another assumption that is targeted towards girls is that girls desire a guy who is better than them, a catch. And when a male is unavailable to a girl, she subconsciously assumes that he is after something more significant than her. Therefore, girls designate them at a higher position and start pursuing him as she realizes that he has other options, and it becomes a subconscious competition. This can be considered halfway correct, as it is linked to the point that women do not like being chased because it makes them feel like an object who has become a target for men to pursue and linger on, which makes them further uninterested in being chased. It puts them in an uncomfortable position when the behaviors of being chased are too obvious and directed at them. Therefore, they would like or have an interest in a person who is less available and is a catch for them as well. Another generalized assumption, which is made by people, pages, and channels, is that when you start treating a girl like a celebrity, you automatically become the fan. Therefore, what guys do is DM her, compliment her, and become the Mr. Nice Guy in front of them. These same guys that will complain about how confusing girls are and how the douchebags get all the girls, the alpha male, the bad boy, and the jerk all have one thing in common, which is they focus on themselves and hold a strong frame with girls. This is incredibly attractive to girls. This claim is incorrect because it is actually a sort of infatuation. Chasing is what is referred to as unrequited love. Even though many people who are pursuing their object of want would term it and believe it to be love, chasing is not love. When you can't stop thinking about her, this isn't true love, and frequently you don't even know her at all. It's just infatuation with some idealized, fanciful version of her that you've created in your imagination. Women are aware of this. They are aware that the man is not after them. Rather, he is for a fictional woman who he has mistaken for them. This makes them not wanting to be chased. Girls also test if the man is mentally strong and if she can emotionally control him, and the guy easily passing the test will increase her attraction for the guy. Don't be available all the time and maintain an air of mystery when you interact with girls. However, the most common thing which guys don't understand is prolonging the time and effort of chasing and doing things like being unavailable. Maintaining an air of mystery, isn't it? Instead, what they should be aware of is it won't be that difficult if she wants to be with you. This means that if a girl wants to be with you, these things wouldn't matter much in front of her. She is far beyond this. You don't have to pursue a girl for weeks, months, or even years before you succeed. The amount of times a man that chased a female for a long time before he finally got her can be counted on one hand. And whereas thousands of men's stories about men chasing girls for too long and never got her are much more. The long-awaited romance that finally materialized doesn't occur often, unless you are exceptionally sluggish. If a girl likes you and has any desire to be with you, it won't take a month or longer to happen. And if you move too slowly, she'll probably lose interest by the time you do what you ought to have done much earlier. Therefore, these reasons contribute to why girls don't like being chased. One should take careful consideration and observation to the factors and signals around them before pursuing a girl. Girls also love originality and realness, so being mysterious and unavailable in front of a girl is all made-up things. A girl would not want to be chased by a person who fakes and makes up their personality only for the hope of attaining her. It is most likely that a girl will find out about it later or instantly and then will not be interested anymore. First impressions hold a lot of importance to a girl, and they notice small things and actions made by guys to judge what type of person he is and if they match their interest or if they find him compatible. Therefore, the assumption that girls are attracted to a masculine body and tries to test the guys over it by starting a fight and therefore wouldn't mind being chased by a guy like that is completely untrue, and the interest will still not grow in women towards them. If a guy has a masculine body but his way of behavior towards others, the girl's perception of their compatibility together and her interest does not fit the picture. She will still not consider being chased or chasing the person. So, in conclusion, these generalized assumptions cannot determine how a woman wants to be chased or what sorts of behaviors such as unavailability will attract her. It is not true in most cases. Therefore, these explanations should be taken into consideration to understand why women don't like being chased. And we should focus on why women don't like to be chased rather than how to chase them.